You're welcome back. I am Michelle Ejekum. Let's settle for some business stories. Now, the team lead of the Ghana Private Sector Competitiveness Program Phase 2, Juliana Ofori-Kakari, has reiterated that the program's commitment to strengthening the growth and resilience of Ghana's cashew and oil palm sectors. Now, speaking at the training workshop for small and medium-scale enterprises on quality, certification and standards, she noted that unlocking the sector's full potential requires inclusive and sustainable growth driven by improved trade and competitiveness.
The Phase 2 Ghana Private Sector Competitiveness Program Training on Quality, Certification and Standards is designed to support agribusinesses in the cashew and oil palm value chains to comply with internationally recognized standards and certification requirements. The initiative also seeks to enhance market readiness and expand trade opportunities for participating SMEs. Speaking to journalists, team lead for the program, Juliana Ofori-Kakari, reaffirmed the program's support for agribusinesses to access new and competitive markets.
In 2025, we had the call 2, and going through the applications, we noticed that quite a number of them are applying for certification, and therefore there was a need. We noticed that the process for which they are asking for the grant may not be able to support them to be able to qualify for certification. And as the program is to build and to improve the lot of businesses in the area of cashew and oil palm processing, we saw the need for us to orient, educate, and also for them to be able to align with the international standards, because we are talking about market penetration, and we are talking about meeting the global market environment.
Private sector development and trade specialist at the Swiss Embassy, Charlotte Esinam Afudego, pledged continued support for small and medium-scale enterprises, including the provision of grants to help accelerate their growth and competitiveness.
But this time around, we have added a component of funding. We are giving out grants to some of these SMEs because, yes, they know about standards, but it also comes with cost. So we have a component where we are adding some funds to them to be able to help them meet some of these basic standards. We also have some standards in HACCP. It's expensive, but if they have access to some of these grants, it then helps them to be able to implement.
The Ghana Private Sector Competitiveness Program Phase 2 is supported by the Swiss State Secretariat for Economic Affairs and is being jointly implemented by NIRAS International Consulting and ProForest.
Away from that, government is intensifying its efforts to clamp down on illegal transportation and smuggling of the country's tree crops to and from neighboring countries, following the passing out of 85 persons as compliance and enforcement officers. The officers forming the maiden cohort under the Tree Crops Development Authority are expected to fight unfair trade, illegal imports and exports of the crops while enforcing payment of statutory levies and taxes. The move is expected to eliminate illegality, promote fairness, and ensure sustainable growth across the tree crop value chain as Ghana sets to harness the sector's economic prospects. Emmanuel Bright-Kweku has more.
The officers, comprising 70 males and 15 females, underwent rigorous months of physical and knowledge-based training on the legal mandates of the Tree Crops Development Authority. Ghana's cashew, coconut, oil palm, rubber, mango and shea value chain continue to face myriads of challenges impacting their growth to support the local economy. Owing to the persistent influx of imported crops to the defiance of regulatory requirements, Ghana is yet to reap off the economic prospects of these sectors. The deployment of the officers is expected to complement efforts in fighting against illegal and unregulated activities in the sector. Eric Opoku is the Food and Agriculture Minister.
A critical aspect of this mandate is the fight against illegal and unregulated activities, including illicit importation of vegetable oil and other practices that undermine local production and threaten the livelihood of over 1.2 million Ghanaians engaged in the oil palm, cashew shea, and rubber sectors. This compliance and enforcement unit is not intended to intimidate, but to educate, protect farmers and investors, enforce standards, and restore confidence in the sector.
The sector minister further highlighted the government's commitment to improving the activities of the authority to significantly contribute to the Agriculture for Economic Transformation and Feed Ghana initiatives.
Government's Agriculture for Economic Transformation agenda and the Feed Ghana program place TCDA at the center of efforts to supply raw materials for local industry. Through strengthening regulation, land mobilization, and expanded production, the authority is positioning the tree crop sector to contribute more meaningfully to national economic development.
That'll be all for business. I am Michelle Ejekum, the small business news when you log on to myjoyonline.com. I'm Yesi.
Thank you, Michelle, for business. That's how we end this edition of Joy News Desk. We're back tomorrow. Good morning.